Hey guys, be sure to press like and subscribe. Today I want to talk about what's available for dating out there in the Philippines. A lot of guys are always talking about province girls and city girls and all this and that. And, you know, a lot of guys tend to go for the province girls. They want somebody that's a little bit more down to earth and a little bit outside the beaten path. They're not a city girl. They don't have a lot of the city girl bad habits, things like that. But I don't want to really get into too much about the province girls versus the city girls on this here. What I want to do is talk about a little bit about, status over here. A lot of guys don't talk about status, okay? Like, they don't really go for like an educated girl. A lot of guys over here don't go for a college educated girl. The first Filipino that I was married to, she was a college educated woman. She had a bachelor's degree. It didn't work out, but I mean, it's not off the table for us over here. A lot of guys think like, oh, if I go with a girl that has a college degree, she's not going to go with me. There's many guys that come over here and they do go with women from that have a college degree. Some people go after doctors, and they marry a doctor or a dentist or an attorney. It's not off the table, guys. I mean, an attorney over here, I believe the average pay is about $1,700 a month for an attorney. And for a doctor, it's right around $2,300 on up for a doctor. And most of us that are over here, I won't say most of us, a lot of us over here are in that range. We're right around that range or fairly close to it. So it's not like, like their status is higher than you or anything like that. There's a lot of us guys over here that are right in that range, and you'd kind of complement each other. So I mean, it's something that you guys should think about. I mean, and I'm not just talking about attorneys or anything like that. You could go for an accountant, or all those are all open, guys. I mean, managers at a restaurant. There's all types of jobs out there that you could date a girl from that type of status. But a lot of guys are always looking for these girls from the provinces and stuff like that, and that's okay. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like there's nothing wrong with dating a city girl or anything like that. Everybody has their thing that they want, and I'm not telling you, hey, you should do this. You need to do this. I'm just telling you that there are other alternatives out there besides, going for a girl that's from the provinces. And province girls are not without their issues, guys. There are issues, okay? Just like with city girls, there are issues, okay? So, I mean, sometimes, when you wake up in the morning, if you're married to one of these girls, you're going to find out that there's not much conversation going on there because they don't have the same education that you have. And even some of these college girls that are from over here, that are from a regular, small college, some of those girls really don't, it's almost like a high school education in some ways, versus somebody that's like a doctor, an attorney or whatever. It seems like they have like more of an education. They're a little bit smarter and more educated. They know a little bit more in the world for some reason. I'm not sure why, but what I've noticed around here is that education lacks over here for some things. I mean, there's some people over here that graduate from college and they don't even know that, when it's light here, it's dark on the other side of the world. I mean, that's pretty bad. You know what I mean? And then there's other people that don't know about like all kinds of things. I mean, when you talk to them about things, they're like, really? It just, and it's small things too. So I mean, education over here is totally different than back home in a Western country, say Australia or the United States or the UK or what have you. It's a different world over here. Education is different. And I'm not saying the United States is the greatest, because we're probably about the same level as the Philippines is right now. And I mean that. I worked in the school system. The school systems today, they suck. The school systems in the United States, the majority of them, unless you go to a private school, and even in some private schools, they're not the greatest. They're not the greatest, and in the places where, people are impoverished in the United States, those people aren't really getting an education there. They're just not. They're not getting a good education by no means in those places. And it's unfortunate that it is that way. But I mean, the education that I used to get when I was a kid, those days are gone. You know, the things that they teach are all totally different. They teach towards a political view rather than teaching real history and English and math and stuff like that. It's not the same. It's not the same. Social studies and stuff like that, they just don't have some of that stuff like they used to. It's not the same books. It's not the same learning. It's not the same teaching, you know. It's almost like they teach what political agenda they want to teach, sadly, you know, in the States. And over here, they don't teach a political agenda, but there's something lacking. I can't put my finger on it. I've watched the kids' schooling here, and now they got these modules and stuff like that, and it's just lacking. And what happens is that carries over later on when these people get older. They just don't have the same education that we have. And that's why I tell people, don't be afraid to look at higher up people. You know, like it's not hard. If a person is single here, you know, and you ask them on a date and they're a doctor or an attorney or whatever, you know, don't be afraid. It can't hurt to ask. You know what I mean? You know, like even in the United States, a lot of people in the United States are afraid to ask a doctor or an attorney out on a date. They really are. And I'm not quite sure why, but they are. Maybe it's the money issue. Who knows? I mean, some guys, they got guts and they'll ask, and those are the guys that are the winners. Well, over here, you have a better chance than back home. So why would you throw away that opportunity? Because you're on a level playing field now. You know, when somebody's making $1,700 or $2,300, you know, if they're making $1,700 as a lawyer and $2,300 as a doctor, give or take a few $100s or whatever, you know, a lot of us expats over here are on level playing field when we include our Social Security and our pensions and stuff like that. Or maybe you got, you know, a military disability, or maybe you got a military pension or what have you. You're probably doing better than they are in some cases. You know, so it's not like you're not bringing anything to the game, you know, and it's just, you're just getting something better that you can talk to, that you know, and a lot of these women are good looking. They're decent looking women. They're smart. They're intelligent. Why wouldn't you want that? You know, some people, I know some guys out there think that they're overeducated. They'll figure it out and then they'll just divorce me and that's the end of it. That's not the way to look at it, guys. You know what I mean? I'm not telling you how to think or anything like that. I'm just telling you, this is another option for sure. Okay? I mean, the other alternative, of course, is a city girl or whatever, and that's okay. You know, you get city girls out there, they got an education. They might not have, like, the better schooling or better college that an attorney or a doctor has or something like that, but that's okay. You know, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. And some of these girls, they have a little education. They read and they know things and stuff like that. But some of these girls, they come from the provinces, they become city girls and stuff like that, so they're still a bit naive. But, you know what to expect over here when you're looking for a woman, guys. Know what to expect. Every girl is different. Okay? I'm going to say that again. Every girl is different, for sure. We all know that. You know, I mean, you could meet a really good province girl with a really good education, and you might be fine. You know, because there are people from the provinces that get an education. You know, but there are some province girls that don't have an education, or they quit school in the 4th grade or the, you know, 6th grade or 10th grade or whatever, and they're just, you know, you're not going to be on the same level with them, you know, to have a conversation. Do you want to have that for the rest of your life? Because it's going to be like you're the teacher teaching this person almost to a child, even when they're in their 20s or 30s sometimes, because of the education difference between you and them. It's difficult. I mean, and I'm just being honest with you. You know, I see it as a big difficulty in a marriage or in a relationship over here. So if you're looking for somebody to stay with for the rest of your life and get married to, just think about what I said, because, guys, if you're going to stay here, I mean, you can get it. You can get a doctor. You can get an attorney and stuff like that, because you're on that level. You're in that class, guys. Don't sell yourselves short. Don't sell yourself short. You know, there's more opportunities over here than what we think, and a lot of guys come over here, they sell themselves short. Think outside the box all the time, guys. Don't be like everybody else that comes over here. Just because everybody else is coming over here and they're marrying these cute little province girls and stuff like that. Why not marry a girl with an education? Or marry a city girl with an education. That's okay too. Or marry a province girl that's got an education. Not somebody without an education, but with an education. Because, you want to at least be on the same level up here, somewhat. You want to be able to have a conversation with these people. One thing I can say about my girlfriend is, and she is a province girl, okay, is that she's smart, she's learned, she's learned stuff on her own, she's studied all on her own, she's self-educated, self-taught, and she's smart as a whip. She's smarter than most college-educated people that I know over here. And that's the one thing I can say about my girlfriend, and that's the amazing thing about her. So, there are province girls out there that are like that too. So, but I just want to open that up to you guys and just throw that out there. Think outside the box, guys. Think outside the box, and you'll be doing better. Thanks, guys. God bless.